Sebastian Gorka is former deputy assistant to the President Donald Trump, now President-elect Donald Trump, of course. Thank you very much indeed for coming on, Mr. Gorka. What's your understanding of what the incoming administration is going to do here? Do you think they are going to reverse Biden's decision?
President Trump has been explicit in the more than 200 rallies he's held in the recent months. And the one priority with regards to that benighted region is that the killing, the bloodshed must stop. He is literally the author of the art of the deal. He gave us peace for 4 years when he was the commander-in-chief. So he will get both parties, both Zelenskyy and Putin, to the negotiating table with the number one priority is to simply stop the brutal bloodshed.
Does that mean, do you think then, that this particular decision of long-range missiles will be withdrawn or used as leverage to try and bring people to stop fighting?
I'm not going to theorize or give away any specifics with regards to what the president will say or do behind closed doors, because that's how the negotiations will occur. But I will qualify this decision, which has been reported by unnamed anonymous sources, that if it is true, it is one of the most egregiously irresponsible acts of any sitting president in modern times. The idea that we are 62 days away from the inauguration, my former boss won not only the electoral college mandate, but actually the popular vote mandate across the country, trouncing his vice president Kamala Harris, means that there should be no serious military strategic action taken short of an impending attack against U.S. forces by an enemy nation. The idea that he is precipitating further destabilization of Eastern Europe 62 days from the inauguration of President Trump, it just boggles the mind.
So Joe Biden is destabilizing Eastern Europe by allowing this decision rather than what the administration say is the escalation of North Korean troops with Russian troops going into Kursk to fight Ukrainians?
Well, it's an absolutely catastrophic. If Tom Clancy had written a novel 20 years ago in which he said North Korean troops are going to be deployed by Russia on the Eurasian continent, we'd have said, Tom, you're a lunatic, never happening. This is only happening because of the disastrous from the surrender of Afghanistan on down.
We can go back over this, Mr. Gorka. We can have fun doing that.
Hang on, I haven't finished my answer. Are you here to hear answers?
You're giving us a history lesson. I want to bring it to today.
I'm connecting it to the recent decision. We would not have had war in Ukraine if President Trump were in the White House. For 4 years, we had no wars, no new wars, with the surrender of Afghanistan, with what happened in the Middle East, with the rise of China. Bad guys have taken action.
Well, this is a counterfactual that can't be proven.
I'm not finished.
Well,
yet,
I can
Tom.
continue to ask questions, Mr.
Well,
Gorka.
you may, but I'm going to finish my answer first. At the end of the day, the idea that he is a lame duck president and he is taking this precipitating decision instead of waiting until the man who has the popular mandate is sworn in, it's just insanity.
Okay. What would Donald Trump, both as president-elect and as president, want to see Britain do?
I don't think that's appropriate. It's like, you have your own sovereign nation, you have your own sovereign government, you will hear what the president does. And because we have a special relationship, at least we did until Lammy called my former boss a sociopath neo-Nazi sympathizer, hopefully that can be dealt with before January the 20th and the special relationship rekindled. As such, hopefully we would expect 10 Downing Street to be shoulder to shoulder with the White House, as has been the case for decades and decades.
Is the plan, as far as we understand it, to end the war in Ukraine still based on what J.D. Vance described as a demilitarized zone that could, in theory, be guarded by, amongst others, British troops?
Again, I'm not going to go into specifics. It's not appropriate.
Can I ask you directly then?
Yeah.
What are we to make of reports that you are in line to be appointed as the Deputy National Security Advisor, Mr. Gorka?
You can repeat the reports. Nothing's official. I would be honored to serve again for President Trump. But, let's wait.
Have you had a phone call?
I've spoken to the president on numerous occasions since the election, and I was at Mar-a-Lago on Friday. That's open, that's out there. I was there for another event, so we'll see what happens.
Have you spoken to him about national security, about Ukraine, about Russia, about this conflict?
No comment.
Is the claim that Donald Trump can fix this or have this conflict resolved in one day, is that going to be proven to be the case?
Well, look, I see a parallel to what happened in 1979 and 1980 with the disastrous, the transition from the disastrous Jimmy Carter administration to Ronald Reagan, with our hostages flying back on the day of the inauguration from Iran. So, we have the Logan Act here in the United States that says private citizens can't be involved in foreign policy matters. We will respect, or the president will respect that. But
does that apply to Elon Musk?
It applies to anybody who's a private citizen.
So a private citizen who has foreign conversations with foreign leaders would potentially fall under the scope of the Logan Act. Presumably that would apply to Elon Musk as well.
You can talk to a foreign leader, but you can't be doing it in a way that is representing the U.S. policy. That's what the Logan Act. Anybody can talk to a foreign leader should they wish to. The issue is whether or not they're doing so with regards to policies of the government. That's what the Logan Act refers to. But President Trump will bring peace to Europe, and everybody should be tuned for 12 o'clock on January the 20th, when on the Capitol steps he will be sworn in.
And you may well be there as Deputy National Security Advisor.
Oh, well, I'm going to be at the inauguration, whatever happens, because I was there in 2017, and I plan to be there as a spectator, as a member of the crowd, whatever occurs, because he has my full support and has had since he came down the elevators the escalator in 2015.
Thank you very much indeed for coming on. Sebastian Gorka, former Deputy Assistant to President Donald Trump, and if reports are to be believed, he could well be the Deputy National Security Advisor under President Trump when he begins that second term.